What's up, y'all? So, I'm currently just crafting right now. I'm working on some crocheted items, but I wanted to just come and just talk and share my thoughts, and really, if anybody just wants to listen. So, right now, what I'm making, one of my good friends owns a boutique here in New Orleans called Dynamo. It's a sex positive store. And what I mean by that, like, you ever notice that whenever you go to like any kind of intimacy store or sex store, it seems really seedy and really like what you would see out of like a cheap porno. Her store is the absolute opposite of that. It definitely makes you more comfortable with what is normal and to have the conversation about sex. So, what I'm making right now are koozies, but mine are a little bit different. These are called coochie koozies. So essentially, they have a vagina on the front of them. Let me try to find one that is already complete so I can show you what they look like. I have one that's sitting around. Do I have one? I thought I had one. Apparently, I don't know where I put the one that I had. Um, anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm working on. I'm making coochie koozies right now. It's a little bit chillier here in New Orleans. Um, but yeah, we gonna make it happen. We gonna make it work. So this is what's been on my mind as of lately, right? So sorry, this camera is like not that great. I'm using my cell phone, and my locks are all over the place. They're doing their own thing. I'm here for it. I don't really care. Um, but so my mother called me yesterday and was like, uh, Raina, I want to share some good news with you and some bad news. And my mother knows me. My mother knows the moment that she says anything about bad news, my head is all over the place. So I was like, okay, so just tell me what's going on. What's the good news? What's the bad news? And so she tells me, she says, the good news is that we caught it in time, but it could have been bad. And I was like, what is it? What's going on? What are you trying to tell me? And so my mother proceeds to tell me that, did I remember about how she was talking about how the furnace was not getting the house like warm? And right now it's Michigan. I'm sorry, right now in Michigan it's snowy, it's wintertime, so it's colder obviously. And so I'm like, yeah, I remember you said it wasn't working. What's going on with it? Were they able to fix it? My mother then tells me that Consumer Energy was able to come out, and they told her they had to, by law, shut their furnace down because it was leaking carbon monoxide. When I tell you, I dang near panicked. Like, what? What? And so she was like, yeah, Raina, they shut it off because it was leaking carbon monoxide. I was like, Mama, you can't smell that. I'm like, that's how a dear friend of mine died. I'm like, I couldn't imagine. And mind you, um, I'm all the way in New Orleans. I live in Louisiana, and my family is in Michigan. Like literally, my whole entire immediate family is in Michigan. My baby sister's visiting, but she lives in Georgia. But she goes back to Michigan, pretty often because of the job that she has. Um, and just thinking about it, just the mere thought of waking up one day and my entire immediate family is gone had me all the way shook. Just like I don't know what I would do. And I was telling my mama about that today because I woke up this morning and, I didn't really sleep that well today, yesterday or last night. Like I kind of tossed and turned here and there. I just didn't really get a peaceful night's rest because it's always that thought of like this could have been a whole lot worse. And so my mother, well, my family knows, my parents know for sure that I call home every day, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times a day, depending on how bad that day was. um, so, it was like, it's just the fear. It's just that ultimate fear. Like, I haven't been able to really rest peacefully with knowing that that was happening in my house in Michigan. I mean, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that they did not let this go on, but it's just still the thought, the fear that something could be wrong. So, I've been just praying to God, asking for covering and protection over my family at all times, because that's a terrifying situation. That's scary. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah. Like, I was talking to her this morning, and so she was like, Raina, if anything happened to us, you would be just fine. And I'm like, nope, I wouldn't. I can promise you I would not. And then as I was telling her how I wouldn't want to be walking around on this earth if I lost my family like that from something that nobody suspected. And then she mentioned my niece, and it was just like this whole wave of like, whoa, I didn't even think about my niece. I didn't think about my nephew. Those two people, Elizabeth and Cameron, they didn't even pop in my head. My whole mental thought was my immediate family is gone, and I am alone. And my mother is like, Raina, you have other family. And I was like, right, I do. Yet that is not the same. It's not the same to speak to my family one day and them being gone the next day. Just just a scary thought. Just a scary, absolutely scary thought. But yeah, so that's where my mind is right now. That's where it's been at for the last few days and everything like that. Um, just thinking about my family, thinking about, how much I love them, and how I know I don't say it every day, how I know I don't speak to my brother and my sister every day, yet I love my family. I absolutely love my family, and I miss them so very much now that I live in a whole different state, which is Louisiana. And just the mere thought to move back to Michigan is a constant thought in my head. I mean, it's like I want to explore Detroit. I think from an artistic standpoint, that would be a great move for me, whether it be Detroit, whether it be Chicago. Sorry for my hand. Whether it be Detroit, whether it be Chicago, just close to my family. So if anything was to happen, I'm able to get to them faster than I am here in New Orleans. I mean, driving one way is, if you don't stop, it's 17 hours from here to back to Michigan, versus the 4 hours, or maybe the hour from Detroit, or the 4 hours from Chicago, 4 or 5 hours, whatever the case may be. It would be a better move for me artistically. I think so. I think so. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I don't know. I mean, it's like I still feel like I have yet to even make a simple little mark on this city. I don't feel that I have. I don't even feel that I've really tried to be honest with you. Um, so I'm getting kind of warm under this heated blanket, but like I don't really even think I've tried to like make a mark, and I haven't. I mean, it's like I give tours for a living, and it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing in terms of being creative and artistic. It's not, and I try to do that in my house, but there's so much that I want to do. There's so much that I want to say. There's so many places that I want to go, and I want to do it with my family with me. I do. Like, it's funny growing up when I would always say, oh, I can't wait till I live in a different state. I'm not going to be anywhere near y'all. And now that I live in a different state, I just want to be around my family. You know, I didn't realize how lonely it would be in a state that is full of so many people. It can be very lonely in Louisiana. It can. This video is longer than I thought it would be. I'm not really good at, well, no, I'm not good at all. I'm not good at all at editing videos, so I'm not going to even try to cut this down. I don't want to. You know, it's just the thought of it. The thought of it. Of not having my family. And that thought alone, to me, was a giant wake-up call from God saying, live your life. Stop worrying about this and that. Just live your life, because you only have one life. You only have one. So live it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to live my life and create art and post it and make videos and whatever the case may be, because I can't be afraid to show off what I can do. I just can't be. Yeah. Yeah. But I just wanted to come on and talk for a minute. I'm going to be redoing my locks. I'm a year into having locks, so I'm excited for this process. And I don't want people to think that my hair grew this fast. No, I started out with 2-strand twists. My hair was already down to here. So this is just me saying I'm a year locked, because my hair is officially locked. But yeah, that's what's been on my mind. Just thinking about my family. Just thinking about my family on a regular basis. Like I was telling my mother that I have not felt myself, or I haven't felt like myself since I got back to New Orleans October 2nd. I haven't. The moment I stepped foot back into my house, it just didn't feel the same. It didn't feel the same at all. But yeah. So that's all I wanted to come on and say. That if you have family, and if you're siblings, or if you're parents and you don't get along, or whatever the case may be, I don't know the situation. It's not for me to know your situation. So don't think that you have to vent to me. Yet let them know that you love them. Let them know. Because life is not guaranteed. It isn't. And something like carbon monoxide is nothing to play with, because you can't smell it, you can't see it. And one moment somebody can be here, the next they can be gone. And so I'm thankful that my family caught this in time. I'm thankful. I look rough. I look sleepy. Yeah, I sleep a lot, apparently. Or not enough, I don't know. I feel like I go to bed early, but I always seem so tired. Maybe it's probably the cold weather. I'm rambling now. All right. I love y'all. Look for more videos. I'm going to try to start posting, starting out small, at least posting a video once a week. That is my goal, to post a video once a week. It may not be a consistent day. It may even be more than once a week. Who knows? Depends on how I feel. But yeah, and then too, you might get little snippets of videos too. You never know. You may not get a video that's almost 15 minutes. It may literally be maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, two little snippets here and there. But the more I do this, the more I'm going to learn how to edit and cut things down and all that fun stuff that I see people doing, or that I'm curious about anyway. But I love y'all for free. Love your family. Stay connected. Stay in touch. Yeah.